welcome back for a brand new episode. And today's title is, when you feel like giving up, what do we do?
What's the first protocol that you feel like you need to relay to people or practice yourself in order to pick yourself back up again, or even just keep yourself on the bandwagon?
I personally, what I do is I just run around with my hands in the air.
No, you don't.
That's what I do, yeah. I run around with my hands in the air and I just scream loudly. No, what I would say to everyone is, a lot of people get this problem like during the winter months, and it's like getting colder, it's getting darker, and it makes it much harder to do things. But I just think you've already put yourself in that mindset already of just giving up. Mm-hmm. So that mentality, you can't get in that like lazy mentality, because it is colder, right? And it is darker. But saying it's just stating the obvious, right? Everyone knows when it gets to winter, it gets colder, it gets darker. When it gets to summer, it gets lighter and it gets warmer. And
that happens every year. Every
single year. And like however long you've been on this planet for, it's happened multiple times.
Yeah.
But then when it's the summer, people then have this argument as too hot to train. So it's either too cold to train or it's too hot to train. There's no in between. So basically what we're going to do is everyone's going to train in the month of October and April. And the rest of the time, they're not going to train.
10 months off.
Yeah. So
if you've got calves as big as Jerry's, you don't need to be training them often. Yeah.
But so for me, if you're getting to that point where you just feel like giving up because you're not seeing any results, to give up completely means you're going to get so bad in terms of health and fitness that you're never going to be happy.
You're kind of taking yourself one step forward and 2 steps back, I suppose, because just being in a position to think that you want to start something, I think, is the first step. I think the first step for anyone is the realisation that they need to change. You know, that kind of sudden flip in mindset where you say to yourself, well, something needs to happen here in order for me to be either physically or mentally happy. And then actually starting doing something, you know, putting things into practice, I think is the second step. So when you completely stop everything, you're just chucking yourself backwards. In reality, sometimes there was actually no point in starting in the first place. And I sometimes put it down to the analogy, and I think you said it to me once, and it was, if a smoker would stop smoking for a month, but then start smoking again, the benefits was literally nothing, because they've started again and there was just no point. So,
yeah, I remember that.
Because, do you remember? Because a month of not smoking, you know, it takes, I don't know the exact figures, but it takes maybe, I don't know, 3 years, 5 years, something, to reverse the effects past a certain age, where a month, if you do it, all you can say to people is, oh, you know, I did it for a month and then I'm back on it again. Everyone's going to be like, oh, yeah, that was anticlimactic. And there's just no point. So I think keeping yourself consistent is the most important thing. And that's what we are here to try and do, you know, keep the accountability and put the systems in place for you guys to keep you on track.
I think as well, is it's far better off to come to the gym 3-4 times a week, right? And maybe not see any results.
Yeah.
But still come to the gym 3-4 times a week. I'm not saying that is great for people, right? But what I'm saying is, it's far better off to go to the gym 3-4 times a week and build a continual habit, right? And at least then you're not getting worse.
Yeah.
But the problem is, when you first go to the gym, I had a week off 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
First session back, deadlifts, right? My back was in pieces. It was like, honestly, I was walking, like, I don't know, we'll call it Terminator around London. Literally, I could barely even move.
It was cold, man, there as well.
But it's like, you know when whereas if I would just do it every single week, I wouldn't have that much of an ache.
And just went maybe half the way they usually do and just done a bit of form or something.
Yeah, and it's like, it's fine to have like a week off now and again, but it's just like, you go through all that ache and all that, like, you know, that feeling of like, you know, aching, you can't walk properly. Whereas when you consistently train and you consistently just train every single week, yeah, you need to fix progressive overload, but actually your body adapts. And the training session doesn't have to necessarily get any harder. You'll notice you just get stronger over time. And what was like once 20 kilos on the bar, we're doing 10 reps. Now 50 kilos on the bar, but it's still the same effort going through. And you don't get as much ache as what you used to.
Yeah.
I find I never get the ache I used to get. Like, never.
No, I didn't really, no. You know, when I first started up at the gym, which is, well, I properly started training when I've been going to the gym for what, 2.5 years or something, 2 years or something, but I only properly started training when I kind of started with you, really, because I started to learn actually what to do. But I saw this thing on Facebook or Instagram, one or the other, and it was basically saying, it was a little picture, and a guy was pushing a rock up a hill, like a big boulder, and on that side it said, one day your warm up. I know, one day you're working, you're working full capacity, and then on the other side of the picture it was him pushing this huge boulder will be your warm-up kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that, you know, being like, I always say the word consistent, but it literally nails it on the head every time. It's just being consistent and staying on track and doing the things day in, day out without fail it just gets results every time. It just goes to show.
I think for me, I look at it, right, is in terms of, because I always think to myself, how can I relate myself to someone else's shoes? And I've never really found working out difficult. Like, not saying I do the hardest workout, but turning up 4 days a week, training, you know, getting the steps in and being mindful of what I'm eating. I would honestly say I've had a couple of periods where I thought, oh, God, and then I've just changed training plan up and I've kind of enjoyed it. But I've always enjoyed training. I know I'm like the 5% of the population that enjoy training. I'm not saying I'm a beast. I'm not saying like, you know, I'm like this. I'm not saying I'm He-Man.
Like,
I'm not saying I'm a like gym rat and stuff like that. What I'm saying is I actually secretly don't mind the gym. And I know that 95% of the population don't really like the gym. And if you're being honest, if you can get results and not have to go to the gym, they would pick that.
100%.
Now, I would still pick going to the gym. I actually enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy it for social crap, stuff like that. But I relate to work. Now, do I want to send an email every single day? Not always. Do I want to post every single day on social media? Stories? Not always, right? Do I want to reply to X, Y, and Z customers or like, you know, things? But doing it consistently over time is like replying back to customers, like doing your steps. It's something you've got to do, right? Because that's just part of who it is, right? Checking in on people, something you've got to do, right? Sending a daily email is like doing a workout. Like for me, you know, put a post up. It's about doing that consistently over time because you know over time that will compound and that will build and you will get a better business, a more successful business from it. So every single workout you do and every single 1,000 steps you do is put you closer towards your end goal in terms of having more energy, feeling better, better relationships, because you're not as depressed, you're not as low.
Better work life.
Better work life.
Better physique.
Yeah. So in terms of if you want to give up, I would always just say when you want to give up, which is what a lot of people feel like all the time, and especially December, sit there and ultimately think, well, if I give up completely, what's going to happen? And I tell you now, you don't have to be Albert Einstein to work this out, or Albus Dumbledore, all right?
Albus Dumbledore.
Yeah, if you give up today, you are going to be worse off in a month's time, right? I don't care what anyone says, right? You're not going to be better. There's nothing good comes out of not working out, you know, not doing your steps, not doing gratitude, not doing meditation. There's nothing good about comes from it. So these 8-week plans and things like that are crap because they're basically setting you up for failure because you think there's an end result. There isn't an end result. What we always do is we have people on for a 12-week minimum, but we say to people, you're going to have the skills in place and the education to train for life. But I don't suddenly say after 12 weeks, we've like literally cured you. Like, we're not like, it's a long-term thing. It's an identity.
We're not this new vaccine, are we?
Yeah, we're not the new vaccine. We're not the Pfizer vaccine, all right? We don't cure it, right? What we do is give you the systems and the education and the tools to then use that for the rest of your life. And we cut through the crap, right? We literally streamline through the rubbish about Boo Tea, Weight Loss Tea, Juice Plus, Cambridge, all those other rubbish diets, right? And all those other rubbish things, out there that just want your money, but they don't really give you the proper tools and the exact methods in place to get in shape. We cut straight through that, right? Like a very, very strong knife.
Like a samurai sword.
Like a samurai sword. We samurai sword through that crap,
Pfizer
right?
ex-samurai.
Yeah, we're the Pfizer of fat loss with a samurai sword, right? Yeah, and we get straight through it. You don't need a double dose of it, right? You just need one dose of us. And what I would say is you've got to realise that if you stop doing all the stuff that we tell you, you're going to go back to where you are, right? So you need to sit down, have a good hard think with yourself and think, why do I want to give up? If you're not getting results, right, then it basically means you're not putting enough effort in, right? You're not wanting it hard enough.
You haven't got an end goal in sight. It's hard because you should always have a goal in sight, whether it's with your physique or, you know, some people's goals to better their relationship with family at home, you know, have more energy and stuff. But you should always be trying, once you know, kind of get close to that goal and reach that goal, trying to move further. And that's what, like Luke was saying as well before, the 12-week process, you know, we always set goals, maybe a fat loss or a muscle build, whatever you're looking for, or again, like a relationship with family. But once we reach that, that's not the pinnacle, because there's always something. You know, do you think that Bill Gates, when he created one thing, was then like, oh, well, you know, I'm a millionaire, there's no point in me carrying on anymore, I can live comfortably, that's it? Or like,
Steve Jobs
or
Apple,
Elon Musk or whatever, you know, he's got like 5 different companies. He founded PayPal, for example, or he was, you know, he was in the making of founding PayPal, and once that got so big and he, you know, he could move on to better things, he sold it and did better things like his SpaceX, Tesla, and all that kind of stuff. There's no point in getting to a certain level and then stopping, because there's always places higher that you can go, and it could be in different avenues, you know. So I think that once you reach things, people become complacent and just stop, and kind of, like we say, the title, give it up, but it's actually taking a step back, looking at where you've come from and where you are now, and then where you can go, because your goal now may be unrealistic to when you started, and that's such a good thing that you've got to a place where actually you're now looking at a goal which was once like unrealistic for you. So I think that taking a step back, having a think about it, like Luke said, and you know, maybe just reassessing where you are at the current time and setting new goals is really essential for people, especially now, you know, given the current year that we've had as well. So
did you have coffee this morning?
I literally haven't had coffee.
No, you liar.
No,
you've had one, haven't you?
I literally haven't had coffee.
Haven't you?
No.
That was a roll. That was a Theon roll. That was spitting bars.
It's getting better on the podcast, I suppose. Confidence and you know.
That was spitting bars. That was a hater. That was a hater round. Yeah. But I know what you mean. And it was also, do you know what the thing is? What I like listening to a lot is what got you to A won't always get you to B.
Yeah.
So just doing 10,000 steps and 3 workouts a week will get you so far, right? But if you want to get further, you might need to increase that to 4 sessions a week. Yeah. You might need to increase that to 12,000 steps, 15,000 steps. I mean, I don't bang on it all the time, but I mean, like we've got our small group training plan, we've got our online coaching plan, we've got like, you know, people losing like 2 stone, and everyone's like, how they do it? Well, they turn up and they do the work. I mean, I don't keep bragging about it all the time, but you've got Cheska and like Sarah, they're doing like 15,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
So they're doing like minimum. They're doing 5,000 more than what an average person would be doing, or even more than an average person. Some people are doing 3, 4, 5,000 a day.
Yeah.
So if you think they're doing 3 times more, which is going to take them 3 times quicker to their goal.
And also coming in, you know, on a weekend kind of thing. And I think the good thing that we've managed to do for them as well is give them the confidence to come into an environment which is completely alien to them. Majority of these people haven't even come to the gym before. Yeah. Step into a gym with us, and you know, we had Sophie. He hasn't been in for a while. If you're listening, Sophie, well done. She came to the gym yesterday on a Sunday by herself, which she would never have done in a million years after a whole year. You know, we've got Cheska and Sarah and all that, and Adele and all that coming up on the weekends. You know, doing their thing. You know, when they're supposed to be spending time with their family. You know, different extra things, and they're really being committed to it, which is good. And that's what we relay it back to. We're putting the systems in place so that after or while you're working with us, you know, you have the confidence and you have the systems to carry on and move yourself further to these new heights.
Which ultimately made them happier, and they've been able to spend better quality time with their partners.
Yeah.
And their partners support them. So if you're out there and you've got someone, and like you've got someone who's moaning about you going to the gym or moaning about you wanting to lose weight, right? That person probably isn't good for you. Yeah. Because if that person enjoys you being overweight, and I'm not just talking about a little bit overweight, I'm talking like quite significantly overweight.
Bad for your health.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not about how you look, right? I don't care what people say. It's not about how you look, right? When people always argue the toss, right, about you should be happy in the skin you're in, I'm all for that, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you now is being, you know, I was just being careful with weight.
I know, I was going to say.
I was going to say a number then, I was thinking, shit, if there's anyone on there.
Your face just went red and you just stopped.
Being 6 stone, no, I'm joking. Yeah. Being on a scale, on the BMI scale, right, of being obese is not good for your health.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. So when people say, I like being this size, it might be a good look for you and you might like that look, but we're talking purely on health, right? We're talking about living longer, you know, reducing the fact of comorbidities, which are like blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, those kind of things, which we know are prevalent with people that are significantly overweight, right? Then why would you want to put yourself at high risk? If you've got kids, don't you want to live longer to spend time with your kids? Are you getting tired going up the stairs? You know, are you getting tired playing with the kids?
Yeah.
Do you come back from work and you're absolutely knackered and energy, right? So when people just go, oh, You know, it's not about how I look. I should just be happy to come in. Yeah, great, thumbs up, right? But if you're puffing and panting, right, like, you know, like you just run a marathon and all you've done is to climb 10 stairs, yeah, then you've got issues.
But also at the moment, I think a lot of people, I know it's current affairs, but bring it back to what's going on at the moment. This year has been up and down for a lot of people. Our emotion has been really high, and a lot of people are worried about getting sick and ill with this virus that's going on.
Yes.
And if you're overweight and unhealthy, and you can't even make it up the, you know, up the stairs to the bathroom or whatever, then think about what chance you have against surviving against what. It doesn't even have to be this. It could be any cold, any flu. You know, your immune system is severely damaged. Well, not damaged. It's severely suppressed. So much so that anything that comes to you, being, you know, like the virus or whatever it is, anything new that comes in, we don't know what's going to happen in years to come. If you let yourself slip and your health decreased, and you increase the chances of becoming seriously ill with stuff like this as well. So, you know, that's another avenue to look at.
We train warriors.
We train warriors.
Samurai warriors. There you go. So I think that's a good bit to finish on. So remember, if you feel like giving up, sit down and think, if I give up today, is this going to be better for me or worse for me? I don't even need to think about it. It's going to be worse for you, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have a good relationship with exercise and health, and sometimes it can get a bit obsessive doing too much, so you need that balance. So if you are training like 6 days a week for 2 hours a day, I would probably say that's a little bit too excessive unless you're like an athlete.
Yeah.
And you don't need to do that much in order to just be happier, healthier, and get in great shape. You know, we've proven 4 sessions a week, 1 hour of hard work, yeah, plus 10,000 steps and a few other non-negotiables can get you in great results. So just if you feel like giving up, bloody don't, because it's so much harder to get started. When the Flintstone wheel or the rock is rolling, you've got to keep it going because the momentum has got going. Inertia's got going, the ball's rolling, you need to push it through. There will be times when the ball slows, but sometimes you have to give it a little shoulder barge, get it going again.
Morning from Jerry.
But we're going to say from that is over and out from us.
Over and out.